We all know CS2 tradeups can be profitable in theory, but can in reality take hours of trial and error trying to find combinations that work. However, a little while ago, I found a huge opportunity, a tradeup combination that generated me nearly $2,000 in profit. So in this video, I'll show you exactly how I did it, why it worked, and most importantly, how you can identify similar opportunities in the future. If you are active in the CS market throughout 2025, you'll be well aware of the numerous price manipulations. Individuals or groups buying up massive quantities of a single item, artificially creating hype, hoarding supply, and driving prices higher. Some of these pumps collapsed rather quickly, others didn't. One of the skins that caught my eye was the M4A4 Hellfire. In June 2025, if you wanted to pick one up in factory new, it would have set you back about $70. By September, that price had risen to about $300, and then in October, it surpassed the $1,000 mark. And unless you're this guy, you probably hadn't stocked up on them prior to this massive price spike. I hadn't either. Before we continue, this video's sponsor, SkinSwap, is giving you a skin worth up to $50 entirely for free whenever you do your first trade and use my referral code. If you want to refresh your loadout, you can trade your skins for brand new ones in just a couple of seconds. Plus, the new Chinese markets feature lets you purchase cheap skins from Chinese sites directly without the need for a Chinese ID or bank account. They accept deposits via crypto, MasterCard, and Visa. If you need to cash out, SkinSwap makes that simple too with instant sell options to PayPal or crypto. On top of that, they run free daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways with the chance to earn extra tickets simply by trading. Use my link or referral code for a 3% lifetime sales bonus and a free skin worth up to $50. Big thanks to SkinSwap for supporting the channel. I've never bought in on pumped items, because when prices are so clearly artificially inflated, all it takes is one coordinated sell-off for everything to collapse. We saw it happen to dozens of other items. So instead of chasing the pump directly, I asked a different question. How can I get exposure to this price spike while limiting my downside if it crashes? And the answer was tradeups. I wanted to find a profitable trade-up combination that would give me a shot at the M4, potentially increase my returns, but also minimize the risk in case of a price crash. The Hellfire is a classified skin from the Hydra collection. However, when a skin of a higher rarity spikes aggressively, there's usually a delay before lower tier inputs catch up. Therefore, I started hunting for the cheapest restricted Hydra skins that could be used in a trade up for a factory new Hellfire. My first contracts only cost me a total of $52.90, with 4 minware restricteds around the $9 price point each, and P2000 Amber Fade fillers. Keep in mind that this was before the trade-up formula change, so floats were not scaled the same way, and the output odds were different. That matters for context, but it doesn't mean similar strategies can't exist today. At this stage, I was able to reach a statistical EV of 138%, with the M4 priced around the $200 mark. Always keep in mind though that EV is a matter of statistical averages. You can go on dry streaks, or you can get lucky, but you need to repeat trade-ups as many times as possible in order to converge on the averages. There's always risk involved, and of course, CS2 skin prices are highly volatile. Essentially, my approach was to spend about $200 to $300 at a time on inputs, complete the trade-ups, and as long as the price of the M4 was still increasing and the contract was computing a positive EV, rebuy inputs for a new set of trade-ups. This means at any given time, I'd only have $200 to $300 worth of skins in my inventory, and even if the M4 price crashed, I could simply resell the inputs, which were not seeing nearly as much price fluctuation. As expected, I wasn't the only one who noticed. Between myself and likely others running similar contracts, the supply of Hydra restricted skins started drying up across Steam and third-party marketplaces. By trade-up number 7, the inputs were costing me around $80, and then by trade-up number 12, $124, with the price of the Hydra inputs leaping up to around $25 each. However, while they had risen from $9 to $25, a roughly 266% increase, the M4 had continued its climb from $180 to over $750, over 400%, which meant EV was sitting even higher at 168% despite the pricier inputs. In total, I managed to complete 21 trade-ups. It's so depressing, the R8 revolver. Finally! That's huge. That is absolutely huge. My strategy was brought to a halt on September 23rd when Valve changed the trade-up formula, meaning the combination I was running was no longer profitable. However, in that time, with a 22% chance to hit the M4, I was able to pick up 5 Hellfires, right on the statistical average, with the high sale sitting at $813. I also hit 5 Cobra Strikes and 3 Galil Sugar Rushes. You can see a summary of all the trade-ups here, with the exact purchase and sale prices for all of the contracts, including taking a 3.5% deposit fee and 5% sales or withdrawal fee into account. Although in reality, my fees were actually lower than this, as I was not depositing and withdrawing money each time. Across all 21 trade-ups, I spent $2,108 on inputs, but that number is misleading. Because profits were recycled, I could have executed the entire strategy starting with just $460, the amount needed to hit the first Hellfire. If I had instead spent that $460 buying M4s directly, I could have purchased 2 of them at the $180 price point, but then I would have relied either entirely on the pump continuing or trying to perfectly time a completely unpredictable dump. More likely than not, you'll end up panic selling your items in the free fall and have to discount massively. Instead, by recycling funds into trade-ups and reselling the outputs immediately, no matter whether the price might continue to rise or not, you reduce exposure compared to just holding the skin. In this case, the trade-ups outperformed. By the way, if you're not familiar with how trade-up mechanics work, please check out my full guide first, which breaks down all the fundamentals. With that said, how can we potentially identify opportunities like this or find profitable combinations in the future? Well, I suggest keeping an eye out for skins that have seen large price spikes in recent days or weeks. Besides outright market manipulation, this often occurs when a collection is discontinued, like when the graphic design collection was removed from the armory or the Anubis package removed from the store, for example. Factory new classified and covert skins tend to see larger price spikes in general, as they have lower supply relative to other conditions. However, depending on your budget and risk tolerance, you might want to start with cheaper items. There have certainly been items from lower rarities which have also seen significant price pumps. Then use a calculator like the one provided by Skin Search, which uses real-time price data to calculate expected value. I generally try and use between 3 to 5 inputs from the desired collection in minware or low float field tested, and then complete the contract with cheaper factory new fillers to bring down the average float. Keep in mind though that most of the trade-up calculators online don't factor in fees, which will likely add up to somewhere between 5 to 15% depending on where you buy and sell the skins. And while the trade-up I completed in this video was on the old odds, I've found several combinations today that still offer positive EVs with the new formula. So there's still tons of potential opportunities. With Valve's recent announcement regarding new skin collections, it's certainly possible several collections either from the armory or current active duty drop pool could be rotated out, so I'd be keeping a keen eye on that. Now if you're trying to make money with trade-ups, you need to avoid these 8 common costly mistakes. Be sure to check out this video next and leave a like if you enjoyed. Take care of yourselves.